You're listening to Real Talk Texas with local expert Steve Hakes. Now, here's Steve.
Welcome back to Real Talk Texas. Today in the studio, we've got Lisa Richardson with Keller Williams. She's an expert in the real estate market, one of the top 1%, and also number 4 in the nation in volume and with Keller Williams. So she is a real expert. She does tons of transactions. We were talking on the break how I had another real estate agent on the show a few weeks back, Alvin Polson, and he was telling me that the average real estate agent is involved in only 8 transactions a year. And that's where when I talk to my clients, I make sure you're dealing with somebody that's really active in the market, because we're in a volatile market right now. I think that home prices have gone up year to date 8% in the metro, in Dallas-Fort Worth area, 8% increase in value. That's huge for us because our values really don't fluctuate that much. But we did have a fall off. So I don't know that we're back to 2007 levels. But if you're listening and you're thinking about being in the real estate market, make sure you interview 2 or 3 real estate agents, especially if you're a buyer. It doesn't cost you anything to have them represent you. The best advice I can give a client is make sure you've got a good agent that's there to help you negotiate your deal, because they're representing you 100%. And Lisa does tons of transactions every month. Tell me about how you do that. You've got a team of buyer agents. How does that work?
We are a well-oiled machine right now. A house is the largest investment you can buy. So you kind of like your attorneys and your doctors. You want to come in, sit down, get comfortable, tell me exactly what you want. And then out of our 5 buyer's agents, I'm going to put you with who I think is the best fit for you guys. You've got your engineer types that want all the data possible. And then you've got newlywed couples that are just excited and they just want to go out and find their first home. So I've got buyer's agents that will fit with each one of those. And how our closing process works is you'll go out looking at a property, pick what you want, get with the lender, get your pre-approval ready to go. And when we make the offer, that's where we come in strong, is we negotiate to get you the best price and the best home that you want. It's got to be perfect. If you don't love it, don't get it.
Well, that's the greatest. If I've not heard a real estate agent say it's got to be perfect, because that's how I buy. I mean, my wife, Dana, and I have been looking at homes, and we've really been struggling because we haven't found the exact thing what we want. So I'm sure that can be frustrating for buyers when the real estate agent says, well, it's close enough, why don't you make an offer? And I've heard that too. And it's like you said, it's the biggest investment you're going to make. When it comes to the loan side, it's the biggest financial decision you're going to make. So you want to make sure you don't just get the first thing that's offered, maybe a 30-year fix. Maybe you want to explore other options, and maybe a 15-year would be better for you. There's a lot of things that I do with clients where I sit down and I look at the mortgage as part of your portfolio and your finances. So I really try to sit down and figure out where you're at, where you're going, what are you really looking for, and we have tons of different products, like you said earlier, that can help clients out there. At the beginning of the show, we introduced Lisa and we talked about how you got into business, 26 properties with Carlton Sheets type thing. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, you didn't do it in one day. What was your initial goal when you started? You said you were up late at night watching TV and bought the Carlton Sheets system. How'd that work?
Well, I was working 7 days a week, burning the candle on both ends. Own a locksmith company in Rockwall, accredited locksmith. And we were literally just working 7 days a week. And I thought there has to be something better. There has to be something out there that I can do where I can have time off, I can have days off, enjoy time with the kids, and wanted to get into real estate, didn't know how, didn't have the money to get into it, bought the system, and my first goal was I wanted 10 homes. I thought if I could have 10 homes, I could comfortably be able to take 2 days off a week. Didn't realize how much work that was going to be, but enjoying it now.
Yeah. So getting the first 10 houses, your goal was maybe buy one a month or something like that, or what was your thinking?
I didn't really have a time frame. I started putting out the We Buy Houses signs, started getting phone calls, bought 5 in one day.
Really? Wow.
So then I thought, well, now I need to move my 10 to if I could just have 20. And then 20, I wanted 50.
And you have your own management company now that helps investors, right?
Yes, it's called Lisa Buys Houses. We're out of Garland. And what we do is when I help an investor buy, especially if they're out of town or out of state, they want a good income producing property, we take all the hassle out of it as far as we would go and on the 3rd, if they haven't collected rent, we go post a notice on the door. On the 5th, we file it with the constable. On the 10th, we go to court for them. We handle all the stuff that they don't want to do, and we just send them the check so that they can spend the money that they've earned.
There you go. If you're listening, you're thinking about investing, you're going to want to make sure that you listen to the rest of the show. We're going to dig a little deeper about how that model's changed. And then we're also going to provide a number that you can send a text to so we can put you in touch with Lisa and myself to make sure that if you've got the idea that, hey, I want to get those 10 houses. And I've always heard that 10 houses is kind of like the number. If you want to supplement your retirement, something like that, it's good to have 10 rent houses. And that may be because in the lending world, you can have 10 loans, okay, with Fannie Mae. That's the maximum mortgage you can have. Beyond that, we've got other products that I have that I can help investors. But that's the standard vanilla. You can get up to 10. Some lenders only let you have 5.
Some
today.
are 4.
Or some are 4.
I heard 4 last week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're still 10. So if you
phenomenal.
need that help, we're there. So how's that changed? I know Carlton Sheet was like no money out of your pocket. You negotiated with the person that was in distress, needed to get out of their house. Maybe they were going to be foreclosed on. You had a way for them to exit gracefully, and then you would take over that house with no money down or something like that was the Carlton Sheets way. How's that working today? And you and I were talking about we may be back in that same market because the lending guidelines are so tough for people, and they're being very hard on people, and I think foreclosures are going to speed up now that they've kind of thinned out the big bulk of foreclosures.
I agree with you. I think it is probably time to start that again because if they have their house on the market, they can't sell it. They've tried to do the loan modification, bank says no. Then they try to sell it with a realtor, can't sell it due to repairs. Again, we have investors that would come in, pay cash before they get foreclosed on. And the reason why could be medical or divorce, no telling. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why people lose their homes. But this avenue allows them to, one, save their credit. If we end up calling the mortgage company, we pay off what they have that they're past due. We sell the property to the investor puts a tenant in, and we give them money to help them move. Everybody wins.
So, and it's something you can move quick on because I know a lot of times that people wait till the last minute. They've really tried to work in the system. And I have heard that time and time again about the loan modifications not being improved. Loan modification, if you're not aware of it, you have to prove a real hardship. You know, it could be you lost a job or you had a divorce situation or a death of a spouse or something like that, or you're with a company that instead of downsizing, they cut your pay and kept you there. I've seen those things be successful as far as loan modification. It's really not there for that. When I got my loan, I didn't have the 3 cars. My kids weren't teenagers, and I didn't have all this school payments and things like that going into college. That's not a hardship. And so some people think, well, now my bills have gone up. Well, the mortgage part didn't affect, and your income hasn't dropped, so it's just another situation. They're getting turned down. So I think the key is you may have to get out of that house and go rent a place that maybe your mortgage is more than you can handle. And that's why you're getting behind and getting into a situation where your credit's getting damaged. And as you know, Lisa, I mean, it's very difficult to get your credit fixed today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even tax liens like we were talking about the other day. I think that would be a good avenue to check into as well as far as lifting it, allowing people that have tax liens lift it, help them buy a house, put it back on. Maybe you could work with
the IRS
to help them. Yeah,
sometimes the IRS agents will work with you as far as being able to get out of one place and get into another and moving the lien from one home to another. It takes some coordination, of course. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Lisa Richardson with Keller Williams, and I'm Steve Hakes. I'm your host of Real Talk Texas. And we're going to talk more about how to buy homes, how to get out of your house if you need to get out. We're going to give you a number in the next segment. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going to give you a number to send a text to, and we'll do that right after this break. You're listening to Real Talk Texas here on KLIF AM 570 News and Information.